It's Wednesday, March 20th. India's oldest private airline, Jet Airways, has been receiving flack from angry customers who've been venting their ire online as the cash-strapped airline continues to cancel flights in large numbers. The airline has reportedly cancelled 300 flights daily this month. Of the 119 aircraft in its fleet, Jet Airways has had to ground 60 aircraft so far due to non-payment of lease rentals. The Air Passenger Association of India has demanded that the airline be barred from advance bookings. The president of the association, citing past experience with airlines like Paramount and Kingfisher, said that crores were collected in the name of advance bookings to use as working capital, and passengers have lost all that money. Meanwhile, the Jet Aircraft Engineers Welfare Association, in a letter to the regulator, DGCA, said they haven't been paid for 3 months now and flight safety is at risk. The letter reads, "It has been arduous for us to meet our financial requirements, result of which have adversely affected the psychological condition of aircraft engineers at work and therefore the safety of public transport airplanes being flown by Jet across India and the world is at risk. While the senior management is finding a resolution to be in business, we, the engineers who inspect, troubleshoot and certify the public transport airplanes for its airworthiness, are in tremendous stress due to non-payment of salaries on time. Since the last 7 months, as of now 3 months' salary, is overdue." The Civil Aviation Minister on Tuesday said it was holding an emergency meeting on the issue. The minister tweeted he has sought a report on Jet's compliance issues from the aviation regulator. So, what is happening with the Jet rescue plan? Jet Airways has a debt of over 8,000 crore rupees and is scheduled to make repayments of up to 1,700 crore rupees by the end of March. In February, the Jet Airways board approved the bank-led provisional resolution plan, whereby lenders would become the largest shareholders in the airline. The State Bank of India, which leads a consortium of lenders, has been negotiating with key stakeholders of the airline to take the bank-led provisional resolution plan forward. Now, Etihad owns 24% stake in the airline and promoter Naresh Goyal and family own 51%. Major disagreements between these two shareholders has led to a delay in the implementation of the resolution plan. On the 8th of March, Jet Airways Chairman Naresh Goyal had written to Etihad Airways seeking an urgent funding of 750 crore rupees under an MOU signed between the various stakeholders. Etihad did not move on that. On Monday, the Economic Times reported that lenders have told Etihad Airways if it is unable to accept the terms to revive the troubled airline, it should exit so that a new investor can be brought in. Etihad, saddled with losses and unsure of the resolution plan and its probable outcome, is understood to have said it could exit at a price of 150 rupees a share, the newspaper reports. There has also been criticism from some quarters on why public sector banks should convert its debt into equity in a volatile industry known for high risks. Bloomberg Quint quoted Arvind Gupta, a minority shareholder and founding trustee of the Indian Investors Protection Council, as saying, "Why is the government trying to salvage this company? Why is the SBI risking public money to revive a company which is a flying, non-performing asset with virtually no potential to recover?" On Tuesday, Reuters reported that the government has asked state-run banks to rescue the privately held Jet Airways without pushing it into bankruptcy, as Prime Minister Modi sought to avert thousands of job losses weeks before a general election. The news agency reported New Delhi has urged state-run banks to convert debt into equity and take a stake in Jet, in a rare move in India to use taxpayer money to save a struggling private sector company from bankruptcy. It is crucial for India that Jet revives, as the fall of its second largest airline could have disastrous consequences for the investment climate in the sector, a top government official told Reuters. No political ads, please. The Board of Control for Cricket in India has reportedly turned down a request by IPL official broadcast rights holder Star India Private Limited to allow political advertising during the IPL, which starts on the 23rd of this month. The media rights agreement signed between the Cricket Board and the broadcaster for the period between 2018 and 2022 clearly states that no political or religious advertisements will be aired during live or recorded matches. Star was seeking a waiver of that clause. Evidently, political parties see the Indian Premier League as a great opportunity to widen its messaging reach, and the broadcaster sees a massive revenue potential here as campaigning for the Lok Sabha elections reaches a peak. Multiple board officials have been quoted as saying the cricket body has never mixed the game and politics, despite several prominent politicians having held key positions in the cricket body in the past.
Fascism.
Did we just show you an advertisement for a perfume named Fascism? Yes and no. The woman is Israel's Justice Minister Ayelet Shaked, and this is her election ad campaign. In the spoof ad, Shaked can be seen striking provocative poses and whispering phrases like judicial reform, separation of powers, and restraining the Supreme Court in Hebrew, all a build-up to her last tagline of "It smells like democracy." While one person called her Viktor Orban on steroids, and another said if you like sexism with your Supreme Court bashing, Shaked has an ad. The ad is supposed to be a defense that her efforts to weaken activist courts and give more power to the legislative branches of governance are democratic, reported Haaretz. Only the message doesn't come through, which seems to be an issue with the entire Israeli election process as the West Asian country heads to the polls on the 9th of next month. This election will be a referendum on four-time Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Israel has seen the formation of several new opposition parties since elections were called last November. Only leaders of new parties seem to have few discernible differences over policy or much of an agenda at all. For example, they offer no new solutions to Israel's intractable conflict with the Palestinians, explains The Economist. The most popular new party, Israel Resilience, led by Benny Gantz, a decorated former general, has expressed a desire to step away from dealing with Palestine and focusing on socio-economic policy. But it remains to be seen how far that resolution will go, with much of the politics in the country centered around Palestine. As a matter of fact, Netanyahu himself, seen as a hardliner by most of the international community, has often been criticized by far-right leaders for weak strategy on Gaza and the Palestinian Hamas. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister is also facing indictment on bribery and breach of trust charges arising from 3 separate corruption investigations over accepting gifts worth millions from overseas billionaires and attempting to buy and control Israeli media. Knesset, Israel's legislative body, has 120 seats and is usually ruled by coalitions. Netanyahu's Likud, or Labour Party, has never won more than 40% of the vote. A dead whale found in the Philippines has close to 40 kilograms of plastic trash inside its body, the largest amount ever found inside a living organism. Whales found earlier in Spain, Thailand and Indonesia have found to have ingested anywhere between 6 to 30 kilograms of plastics. Of the 40 kilograms of disposable plastic trash found inside the body of the 15-foot 500 kg whale, 18 kilograms was just plastic bags, reported the New York Times. Once ingested, whales are unable to digest or expel plastic, a particular problem as plastic waste accumulates at between 5 million to 13 million metric tons every year in the oceans. Plastic trash is everywhere and it's forever. You do your bit and we'll be back tomorrow. That's Thursday. Love your morning fix? Help support our journalism. Subscribe to Scroll Plus using the link in the description.